Let me start by saying that we have absolutely no control over when we are born and when we die. But we do have control over what happens in the years in between. We all have a date of birth, and eventually, with a dash in between the two dates, there is our date of death. My question to you this morning is, what is that dash between these two dates going to be for you? What will you be doing, and how will you do it? That will be your call, dear people. Yes, you now stand on the threshold of a very young profession and have earned the right to call yourself a professional. But is it just this sheet of paper that makes you a professional? I'd like to think not. There are many other attributes that you will need to cultivate and inculcate in yourself, and the first of these is a simple thing called integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is looking, and for me, nothing epitomizes this more than the lessons learned from a story that I read in my mid-20s, and it goes like this. There was young James who loved bass fishing in the nearby dam with his dad. And try as he might, this 10-year-old just couldn't land a bass. One night, both he and his dad were fishing in the dam, and he suddenly felt this tug on his rod. And he was so excited, "Dad, I think I have something." So his father helped him reel in the most magnificent bass. At that point, the father pushed back the cuff of his sleeve and said, "Son, I'm afraid you are going to have to throw this back." And he said, "But why, Dad?" The father said, "It is now 10 p.m. and bass season opens at 12 p.m. The son said, "But Dad, nobody will know. It's just the two of us here." And the father said, "You will know, son. It's you that will know." And so he sadly unhooked this fish, threw it back into the dam, and as it swished its tail and swam away, he thought to himself, "I'm never going to catch another fish like this." And he was right. He never did. But in his adult years as a civil engineer, the bass story always came back to him, particularly when he was asked to cut corners in his job as a civil engineer. And he always thought of the bass story, and that, my friends, is integrity. Sometimes you learn a lesson that somehow carries you through life, and it is the simple word integrity that will set you apart from your peers. Like I have done all these years, I urge you to make the bass story your guiding light when you are tempted to cut corners, very much like this young lad did. The second attribute that has carried me is the ability to acknowledge both publicly and privately the people that have influenced us, from whom we have learned the best. Sir Isaac Newton said, and I quote, "If I have seen more, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants." My question to you this morning is, who are the giants on whose shoulders you have stood? There will be a few, because it is this that molds and makes us what we are. Never be too shy or too proud to acknowledge these giants.